Welcome. Welcome to Burning Tree Programs Spotlight. Burning Tree is family owned, was founded in 1999 by David Elliott. The initial program is Burning Tree Ranch. It's outside of Dallas in Kaufman, Texas. It is a men and women's long-term treatment program for the chronic relapser. It's an average length of stay of 8 to 14 months residential with a year of transitions. In 2004, David Elliott chose to expand Burning Tree and open up Burning Tree Lodge outside of Austin in Elgin, Texas. And when Peter Pirano came on board, he rebranded the lodge, and it's now Renewal Lodge, and it is a clinically advanced mindfulness approach to the 12 steps. It is an in-network provider with all major insurance companies in the United States. Newest to the Burning Tree family is Awakening's Hill Country. Jessica Slay and Josh Slay teamed up to create a program where women are helping women with traumatic issues with substance use disorders. And then in Tucson, Arizona, we have Burning Tree West, which is a young adult with a collegiate track long-term program for young men and young women in Tucson. So today, without any further ado, I am so honored to bring on Jessica Slay, who is the co-founder with her husband, Josh Slay, Awakening's Hill Country in Fredericksburg, Texas. And Jessica, I want to tell you, welcome. Welcome to the Burning Tree family. And yeah, welcome. So you have been for a long time helping women find a path of freedom in the Dallas area with your private practice. You're a licensed professional counselor, and you're also a supervisor. And how did you know that you wanted to become a counselor?
I actually knew pretty early on. As a sophomore, junior, senior in high school, I became kind of intertwined with some of my own counselors within my high school. They kind of became mentors and are still intricate parts of my life, even as an adult. And so I knew pretty early on. And so quite quickly out of undergraduate, I got a job, quickly realized I wanted to go back to school, and pursued a master's in counseling about 10 years ago now.
So you got a master's in counseling, and the reason you got a master's is it adds, of course, greater knowledge, but greater ability to help people. How did you know you wanted to become a supervisor?
That kind of just came with time. Once you're licensed for a certain amount of years, you're eligible to be a supervisor. And I had such an amazing experience as a counseling intern myself, under the supervision of my own supervisor. He was wonderful. And I had so much professional and personal growth through that experience that I wanted to be able to provide that for someone else.
Well, that's the magic of what you get to do. You touch so many people's lives and families. Mm-hmm. So I know your practice in Dallas is and was and still is very vibrant. How was it that you and your husband came about wanting to have an all-women's treatment center in Fredericksburg, Texas?
Well, that was always the dream. And I think a big part of me thought it always would just be a dream, honestly. Josh was part of a very successful men's treatment center. And I was more, of course, in private practice doing kind of the clinical side of things. I saw a lot of people with addiction issues. That's kind of how Josh and I got to know each other to begin with before we were ever married. And so I would always tell him, like, hey, I would really love to have a women's treatment center one day. That's really where I think the next step is for me. And He called me one day, had come to visit this property, which is Awakenings here in Fredericksburg, had come to visit it with another friend and mentor of both of ours. And they called me on the way home and they said, I think we should reopen this women's treatment center. And I kind of was like, oh my gosh, don't mess with me. Don't joke around about that. And it was not even 24 hours later that I think we both felt like it was a total God thing and it was the right thing to do. It really fell in our laps and it was absolutely meant to be. Within just a couple weeks, we had sold our house and we're living in Fredericksburg and opening a women's treatment center. And now we're about 90 days into it. And it's been the biggest blessing, both professionally and personally.
Yeah. So how are you, I have a feeling, this is my feeling. I have a feeling that you're really, really gravitating more towards the residential component of helping people find freedom.
Absolutely. So the cool thing about residential is that we were able to kind of intertwine both of our skill sets, both mine and Josh's. You know, his was a big foundation in the 12 steps, which after meeting him and meeting a lot of people that have become friends of mine or even feel like family, the work they've done with the 12 steps, both in their personal lives and their professional lives, was obviously life-changing. And so I quickly became sold on the fact that 12 steps was the way to do it. And so when we created or reopened Awakenings, I think what's unique and cool is there's just such a solid foundation with these women of the 12 steps. And we think that that's, again, the foundation and what's so important. And then what I kind of bring to the table, I think, is an extra piece of the trauma and clinical program. So we're simultaneously treating substance abuse as well as trauma, which are so intertwined in almost every female that we see. So they're getting a really good substance abuse 12-step foundation for learning the solution to drinking and using, and then also getting to kind of open up some of those deep wounds and heal from them with the trauma perspective.
So I liked hearing how Awakenings revealed itself to the Slays. Tell me about how your clinical team has revealed itself to you.
Absolutely. That's another really special part of this place for both Josh and I. When we decided to do this, we kind of put together a team, an intricate team pretty quickly. Josh was able to bring a couple people that had worked with him previously, whom, again, we see as family. And so those were Tyson Womble and Raul. And then outside, Tyson's also married to Tara, whom had done lots of residential treatment, both in women and men. And so we brought her on as our clinical director, and she's amazing. She knows what she's doing. She knows how to work with these women. She herself is 13 years sober, living a lifestyle of what we're teaching these women. And so that was, our team was important. We brought together a couple other professionals to do the 12-step work as well as the clinical work. Every person brings a certain piece to this puzzle, whether that's their clinical expertise, their experience, their 12-step knowledge, the way they're living their own lives. Everybody was uniquely selected for this team. And again, that's one of the really special parts about this for us.
How did you come about finding your doctor?
So Dr. Jeffery Holt had actually been a part of Awakenings prior. And so we were able to meet with him, and he's wonderful. He's also a board certified addiction medicine. So he knows what we're dealing with. He's been doing this a long time. He's excellent with these women. The nurse practitioner that also works with us, her name is Kathy. She was also here prior to us coming on. And we instantly knew we wanted them to be a part of this new team as well.
So they naturally fit in the family.
Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely.
So in your private practice, what kind of techniques do you use to help women with trauma?
Yeah, so a lot of the stuff that everybody's heard of, CBT, DBT, I'm also EMDR trained, and so I use a lot of EMDR in my private practice, and of course we're using it here at Awakenings every single day. Something else that we do here at the center that I've done on a small scale in group settings, but with psychodrama, which is a big modality for treating trauma. I also, from my private practice as well as here at Awakenings, come from a big background of of attachment theory and how we get our needs met, and how that shows up, how we got our needs met as a child or in our earlier life, and how that shows up in our adult life. So we use that with every single girl that comes through the door. They're assessed from an attachment basis, and then we work on repairing those attachment issues the entire time that they're here.
So Jessica, I know I got to visit with Tara. She's got a great presence about her.
Wonderful.
She was explaining to me in the beginning that she is wanting to incorporate some of Dr. Brown's.
Yes.
Help me out with that.
Absolutely. So yes, and this was Tara brought this to the table, and it's been wonderful. She had recommended that we use Brene Brown's curriculums. It's called Connections. It's her curriculum, and we have integrated that into our curriculum. The girls get a piece of this usually up to twice a week, and the girls are loving the Brene Brown stuff, whether it's her specials on YouTube or as well as the background that comes with that. We even use one of her books, one of the first ones that I thought it was just me. Every girl reads that. Every girl has assignments from that. And they've been really responsive to all of the Brene Brown curriculum that we've implemented.
So I know that your program is women helping women. And what I assume is empowering women.
Absolutely.
So what are some of the things that you guys get to bring to your clients to help empower them?
Okay, Eric, I lost you for a minute. Could you repeat the question for me?
Yeah, no problem. So what I was wondering is, what are some of the things that you guys get to facilitate with your ladies to help empower them?
Yeah, so we do lots of cool things. You know, one of the big things that Tara and I are big on is women helping women, and getting away from this kind of societal norm that, oh, I don't get along with other women, other women don't like me, that sort of thing. We have seen really cool stuff here happen where not only are women working on themselves individually, but their ability to reconnect with other women is one of the bigger pieces of the puzzle for us. They are absolutely finding that not only can they be empowered by other women, but that they can empower other women. That by leaning into each other, being vulnerable with each other, supporting each other, that helps heal them. That helps set them up for success when they leave here. I can't tell you how many women have already said that I never knew that being around a group of women was going to be so cool. So like I thought I didn't like women, and that when they leave here, they're in this bond with these girls that they've honestly never experienced before. So that's a big part of our thing, is women helping women, and we don't just mean the staff. We mean the women that are clients are helping the other women clients, and that's a big part of it for us.
Right. And I know things are a little different right now because of the safety precautions that you and your professional team have taken to protect not only your staff but mainly the clients from this COVID virus. Do you allow your ladies to start working with sponsors?
So they don't work with a sponsor while they're here. They're doing all of the work. We want them to complete the steps while they're here. That's the goal. And so we've got a wonderful, Nikki is running our 12-step program and all of our recovery stuff. And she does, I mean, almost every woman that has left here, I read every one of their exit surveys, and one of their biggest pieces is Nikki and the work she's doing in their lives. And so we set them up for success when they get out of here. To your point, we've had to keep them from going to outside meetings right now for the safety. But of course, we can't wait to open that back up. That's a big part. They loved going to the outpost. All of those things are really, really big pieces of the community here. So we're looking forward to them to being able to have speakers back in here, as well as letting them go to outside meetings. But in the meantime, we're doing everything we can to still give them the experience of what that 12-step fellowship looks like.
So then I'm quite certain that you and your organization has a very strong family component.
Absolutely.
What do you guys bring? Because I'm sure you get a few clients that have been to treatment. So
Sure.
their families are a little jaded. They don't think this is going to be anything different.
Absolutely.
How are y'all handling that?
Absolutely. And anybody in treatment knows that the family is such a big piece of this. And from a private practice standpoint, even, I'm so big on family involvement. And so with COVID, that's come with some limitations. But in the real world, that looks like, obviously, families get an update as necessary and as frequently as possible. And in addition to an update on how their loved one is doing, we're also telling them what part they play in this and how they can be a supportive piece of this upon their loved one's discharge. Once things go back to normal, our family program will be a big piece of this. Every family will be encouraged to join the family program, where not only will they get education around addiction and in terms of what the individual is experiencing and the part the family plays in it, but also what that looks like after here and what's good for their loved one and how they can support that. And so, yeah, the family part's huge.
So I want to ask you, why does the family need to be involved?
Because the loved one needs accountability and the loved one needs support, and support doesn't always look easy. Support often doesn't look like, oh, I just, do what you say and tell you I love you. It also looks like I hold you accountable. I don't make this lifestyle easy for you. If you choose to go back out, we're not going to support that. And we really educate the family on that because we know how frequent that is and how important that is. And so we want our families to be armed with all of the tools they need to be the love and support that they need for that family member.
So shortly, I think you guys just opened like 2 or 3 days earlier. I got the opportunity to come out and bring a lady from Grace ATX, Leah Meckerith, and one of my coworkers,
Yes.
Lauren Jubers.
Yes.
And we got to tour around your facility. And I got to hear stories about you and your parents and Josh's mother. And I got to see some of the furniture that you guys refinished, and you painted some rooms, and tell me about the magic of your family being a part of you helping create a loving space for these ladies.
Yeah, Josh and I both are fortunate enough to come from really, really loving families. Both of our moms, there's a joke here on campus about the moms and the moms coming out. We call them for everything. And so my mother-in-law is an expert at refinishing furniture and doing she's got a green thumb, all the things I can't do. And then my mom is also this huge support system to both Josh and I. So when we started opening, both of our families, our dads came down and did a lot of manual labor and rebuilt things, refinished things, hauled things off. And our moms, we put them to work on, this really was a labor of love, not just for us, but for our families. And yes, they refinished furniture. They slept at the facility when nobody was here. We really are so grateful for the support of both of our families. We're very fortunate.
I could feel the love. And when your lovely husband, Josh, when he told me the story about his mom refinishing this armoire,
yes,
in one of the rooms, and it touched my heart. And the reason, that's what this is about. You're building something, and you're helping these women build something that's lasting. So,
yeah, and specific to Josh's family, this is real important to them too, because when Josh was sick, they prayed for him every day. And I think there was a fear that this day would never come. Make it emotional.
You're fine.
That not only would he be well and healthy, but that he'd be able to help other people. Mm-hmm. And so I think that his family, this is a dream for them too.
Yeah. Well, how fitting.
Yeah.
This Sunday is Mother's Day.
Yes.
And I know you guys have Bella, little four-legged little child, I'm sure, for y'all. And
Yes.
I'm sure Bella brings a lot of love, not only to your staff, but to the ladies that are blessed to be at Awakenings Hill Country. When I found out in Tucson, Arizona, that we were going to get to be teamed up with you guys, it's very special. I'm very honored to be on this path. And I know we're blessed to be associated with Awakenings Hill Country and the Slays. And I can't thank you enough for what you and your husband and your entire team do to help women engage on a path of freedom. So I'm grateful for you.
Well, that is so reciprocated. What Burning Tree has done to partner with us and support us, we never could have done it alone. And that's the cool thing about this business is that friends are family, and you guys have opened your arms to us and opened your hearts to us, and everybody has been so supportive, and we are so grateful.
Well, don't forget about Jessica and her private practice in Dallas, and Awakenings Hill Country is open to helping women right now. We're honored. So thank you for your time. Thank you for being on Burning Tree Program Spotlight, Jessica.
Thank you, Eric. I appreciate you having me.
Yeah, thank you. So, wow. I mean, I got goosebumps. Thank you, David Elliott, for creating Burning Tree. I'm a proud alumni of this program, and Burning Tree has been around since 1999. We have a full continuum of care. Burning Tree Ranch is a 8 to 14 month men and women co-ed long-term program in Dallas, in Kaufman, outside of Dallas. Renewal Lodge, Elgin, Texas, in-network provider with all major insurance companies, men and women. Fantastic, highly advanced clinical approach to mindfulness and the steps of Alcoholics Anonymous. Awakenings Hill Country, which we just learned about, and the passion of that creation of Awakenings Hill Country, women helping women. And then Burning Tree West, young adult program with the collegiate track in Tucson, Arizona. So I'm honored. Please tune in daily and have a great day. Thank you.